Welcome back, guys, to episode 3 of the 603 Football Podcast. We are here with Ellie Bahuma of Concord, junior running back. Ellie, want to just tell us a little bit about Concord and how you guys are doing this year so far?
Our Concord team, I think we are making a statement. You know, tough loss against Londonderry week one, and then just getting four straight, well, win against Rutland, Vermont yesterday, Friday, actually, and just building that winning culture that we started last year and just picking up where we left off.
So, how many rushing yards do you have on the season so far?
So I think NH Sports page just updated it, and I'm at 937.
That's crazy, almost at 1,000, and we're going into week 6. Um, with the win over Rutland last week, you guys sit in a pretty well spot in your interconference division in the Central between you guys, Londonderry, Pinkerton, and Wyndham. You guys do have a tougher stretch to end the year between Nashua South, Salem, Wyndham, and Pinkerton. Your last 3 games are going to be tough in division opponents, I'd so to say, with ending at Pinkerton, home against Wyndham for your senior day or night, and at Salem. What game are you looking forward to the most?
Uh, I'm really looking forward to the Pinkerton game. Like, you know, I've heard about their running back, and I just want to see if I can match up against him. You know, I heard he's a stud. He can do what he can do, and just going up against him. I think he's a senior or something. Is he a senior?
Yes, Jacob Albert, the senior, and Cole Yanako, both seniors.
Yeah, yeah. Just both of them hearing about them and like how they're helping this Pinkerton squad. I just want to see if I can match up with them and just do what I can do and show everybody that I can hang with everybody else.
Now, you guys have been putting up very high numbers all season, even including Londonderry, putting up 24 against the defending state champions, 48, 43, 56, and 49 this week against Rutland. And if I had to guess, you'll put up a big number against Nashua Salt this week. Um, how has it been like to be on a winning team this year?
Um, it's new to everybody, this is kind of a new thing. Like even with last year, how they ended up with 3 wins, I think. Just this year, coming in with more wins than losses, it's just bringing a new energy to the team and just bringing us all together. You know, like Concord hasn't been the greatest program. I think they haven't been 4-1 in like 2 years. So like just us doing this for the city is just yeah, it's just something special.
So looking back to your game against Concord, not Concord, sorry, you guys are Concord against Keene. I had you guys losing to that one, and if I had to say, that fueled you guys' fire, correct?
Yeah, it did.
Um, Obviously, I picked a lot of your games wrong this year, and that is going to happen with a lot of teams, especially someone who didn't know much about Concord going into this year. And you guys caught my attention week 1, and then ever since have been on my radar. And I just want to congratulate you guys on a great season so far, and I hope to have you on again and just keep up the great work, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, guys, that's it from Ellie Bahama. I'm sorry, did I say that wrong?
Yeah, it's Bahuma.
Bahuma. I look forward to talking to you again and good luck the rest of the way.
Yep, thank you so much and thank you for having me.
All right, guys, with my second guest here, we have Drew Heenan, senior quarterback for Londonderry. Drew, you want to tell us a little bit about how you guys' season's going so far?
Yeah, I mean it's going pretty good. We're three and one. Our one loss was
Four
to
and
Bishop
one.
Hendrickson. 4-1,
Four.
my bad. 4-1. Our one loss was to Bishop Hendrickson down in Rhode Island, and I think we're doing pretty good so far. A lot of things to work on, but always room to improve.
And I don't know if you saw, but they lost to who did they lose to? They lost to
It was
someone in
Catholic
Mass this
Memorial,
week.
right? It was
Yes,
Catholic
yes.
Memorial.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on the out of state games? Like, did you enjoy like getting to travel down there and play like a whole different like in a whole different atmosphere and a totally different state?
I mean, I love it. I mean, I think with it being out, and it's just a great experience for all the high school kids in New Hampshire. Going out of state, testing the waters a little bit and just seeing when you rack up in New England. So I think it's something that should stay. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing.
I agree 100%. So looking at you guys' schedule so far, you're 4-1. You beat Concord week one, 34-24. Lost 20-40. Beat Wyndham 30-14. But I feel like that score does not reflect on how that game went. I think Wyndham played a hell of a game against you guys, and you guys just made some great halftime adjustments and came out and shut them out in the second half. And you beat Pinkerton 31-6 in the MacPlac, and then Manchester Central this week 48-6. Looking ahead, you guys at Bishop Girton this week, home, then Alvern home, then at Winnicott, and then at Salem to end the regular season. With the new playoff format, 13 teams get in. What's like your opinion on that? With it gives more teams an opportunity to play more games. What's your opinion on
Uh,
that?
I like it. I think with more teams in it, it's more of like like a free for all, so to speak. I think you can have a team who wouldn't normally get in, come in and like shock some people, win
Yep.
some early games in the early rounds. So I think it's just better to see like more good football.
So going back on you guys' previous game so far, what has been besides the out-of-state opponent, what in New Hampshire team was your toughest opponent? Not to take a shot at anyone else in the state, but what team would it be?
And that's pretty hard. Concord, Wyndham, and Pinkerton are all good teams. Central has it. They have a little fight to them. They just don't have as many players as other programs, so that kind of is their one downfall. But they have some good players. I mean, they're all good teams. They're all good teams. I don't know. That's a hard question to
All right,
answer.
so let me reword it for you. What team matched up the best against you guys?
uh, I would say maybe it's between I don't know Concord, Wyndham, and Pinkerton all were pretty tough teams to play against. We went into the Concord game thinking like they were going to be legit this year. They had a lot of good players coming back, and we were pretty spot on with that. And they've been pretty good after their loss to us. I believe they're undefeated still since they
Yeah,
lost
they
to
are.
us.
That's
Correct?
the only loss they have is to you guys.
Yeah, I mean they're a solid team. They're in the running for it. Win them again. They had a great game plan going into us. Shut us out. No, they shut us out. They had a good. Did they shut us out in the first half?
I believe it was 14-10 at halftime.
Yeah, 14-10. I mean, they were balling. They had a good game plan. Players on their team were balling out. So I mean, that was a great game to be a part of. And Pinkerton, they're always good.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't want to choose one. I mean, they're all pretty good teams, but I'd say those three were pretty close.
So looking ahead, you guys have BG this week. Probably it'll be your toughest in-state game of the year. Most likely playing for the number one seed in the state. Um, are you guys looking forward to that one? How are you guys prepping for that one this week?
Yeah, it's definitely been a game we've been waiting for the whole off season. We knew they were going to be good coming in this year. Returning a lot of their players, and it's going to be a great game. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it. They're a good team, and I'm excited to play them.
Um, you guys lost Ty Miles in was it
3,
week three against Wyndham?
yeah,
How
yes.
has it been to find a replacement for someone as good as him?
I mean, you can't really like replace like a kid like that. He's just a game changer. But we've definitely filled the holes with Aiden Espinal on the defensive side of the ball. Has been playing great so far. And Andreas on offense, number 55. He's been doing a good job filling in for him at right tackle. So, I mean, it's hard to replace a kid with that kind of talent and size, but I think the Andreas and Aiden have been doing a great job stepping up.
Um, Looking back to your last year, you came in, filled in for Aiden Washington when he got hurt, and you just balled out. Led a great team to a championship game and beat a very talented Winnicott team last year. How was that experience to go in as a junior and just go out and win the championship?
I mean, it's obviously great. Winning the championship is great, but I mean, it definitely helps for this year having like I guess so to speak, like a season to already have going for you. So I mean, it helps with the like I have more games to play and more like in-game varsity experience going into this year. So I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It definitely helps prepare you for the following year.
Now, you went in the MacPlac game last year, correct?
Yes.
How was that? Obviously, the emotions are crazy in that game. It's probably one of the biggest games in the state of the year every year. There's a ton of people there. Like, how was that to go in and like play against a very well Pinkerton team?
It was fun. It was fun going out there and playing in front of all those people. It's a great feeling. I mean, I wasn't planning to play as much as I did that game. Me and Wash were like splitting snaps kind of up until that point, but like I wasn't planning to, like have him get hurt and all that. But it was definitely a good experience, and I enjoyed it.
Just looking back on the MacPuck game from this year, obviously that's probably an experience a lot of people wish they could have and enjoy. Is that something you're gonna remember for the rest of your life and be like, that was like an amazing feeling to win both times and just go out there and play in front of that many people, like pretty much like a college atmosphere almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I remember playing. Like that was our first home MacPlac since 2018 with fans allowed. So it was great. It was a great atmosphere. I wish it was a little less cold. I was pretty chilly during that game, but other than that, I mean, it was a great time. It was awesome.
Now, do you play defense too or strictly offense?
I mean, I like to say I play defense, but no, I do not play defense. Coach Wilson won't let me.
That's a lot of coaches in the state will not let their quarterback play defense, but
Yeah,
some of them can go out there and play, and they're amazing on both sides of the ball. Now, do you
yeah,
plan on playing college football next year?
I do. Yes.
Drew, thank you for talking to me, and I look forward to talking to you again. And good luck this week to you and your team.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. With my next guest, we have Dante Nieto and Matthew Sansuaso of Bishop Girton. You guys want to tell us a little bit about you guys selves?
Yeah, so far we're 5-0 on the season, coming off of a win against Winnacunnet. We won 32-8, and looking forward to our next game against Londonderry this week.
Yeah, I'm Dante. Season's been going good so far. Defense is looking strong. Haven't let up too many points this year, so we're looking to go up against Londonderry's offense.
So the most points you guys have allowed all years against Timberlane, which was 20, which was a 23-20 win over them. Was that probably your toughest opponent you guys have faced so far this year?
I would say either that or Winnacunnet, because in the first half we played Timberlane. It was 23-7, I believe, and in the second half, like we just made a bunch of silly mistakes, and we just got it was a good learning experience from it. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. To build off that, I mean, I think Timberlane was our closest game at the half, like Matt said. So it's just been we haven't really had a close game too much. And Coach Trish was talking to us today, actually in film. We have only been losing this season for I think it was like a minute and 30 seconds.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, and it was the Goffstown game when they ran back the opening kick. So we've only been down for 90 seconds, which has been pretty cool for us at least. But yeah, I'd definitely say that Timberlane game kind of got away from us in the second half. Kept it together, but Winnacunnet was pretty strong. I mean, obviously the record doesn't show it. They're 0-5 now, but I definitely think they're better than some of the other teams that we faced so far.
I was just gonna say that their record definitely does not show how good they are. But just to look ahead of you guys' schedule, you have Londonderry away this week, then home against Bedford, at Nashua North, which is your home field as well, and then home against Keene. So you guys end on a 3-game homestand. Well, not really home, but home. Obviously Londonderry this week, they're really well coached and a well-rounded team. Are you guys looking forward to that one?
Yeah, definitely, especially with the crowd they're gonna have and the amount of people that will be at the game. So it's definitely a game to look forward to.
Yeah, to build off that, we've heard a lot about how many people are going to be there, kind of the power poll 1 and 2 seed, so to say. So, heard a lot of stuff. I mean, we played there last year, so kind of stinks that we got back-to-back away games, both years that I've been playing with BG. So there's no other atmosphere like Lancer Park going there. It's crazy seeing how many people are there. I mean, not that it really matters, but like the band even too. It's just nuts playing there. So I mean, we're ready, but we'll see what happens.
And then looking ahead again, you guys have a good Bedford team and then a very good Nashua North team. Obviously you don't want to get too far ahead, but looking ahead past Londonderry, what game are you guys most excited for?
I would say North because that's probably going to be the game that decides who wins the conference and decides who gets the first playoff bye and pretty much the home seeding for the rest of the playoffs. So yeah.
Yeah, to go off of that too, definitely North. I mean, just looking at it, we got Londonderry this week, so we're gonna obviously focus on that. But the North game coming up is a huge focus for us, just because, like Matt said, the whole conference thing. And if you look at their schedule, they got it. They, fortunately for them, got it pretty light this year thus far. We're kind of their first real big matchup, other than Bedford opening week. But yeah, it'll decide the conference and all that. So, and just in city rival and all that. So it'll be a good one. Should be packed.
Matt, I don't know if you have your stats pulled up in front of you, but if you do, if you want to just share your stats, that would be awesome. But if not, I can try and pull them up too.
Yeah, I have them right in front of me.
Perfect. If you want to read those off.
Passing yards 323 and then rushing yards 602.
602 rushing yards, so you'll most likely hit 1,000 as long as you don't get shut out this week or against Nashua North. Do you guys have banners hanging in your school for 1,000-yard rushers or no?
We do not.
See, so I know a lot of schools do that, but looking back, obviously Timberland was a tough opponent. Nashua Salt, you guys shut out very well. Besides that one touchdown, Goffstown, same thing. They opened off with a lead. While you guys were down in that game, was it like, oh crap, like they're like really good, or was it like we get to step up and just unload now?
It was more of we got to like step up and then it was more of our defense really. Our offense and our offense in that second half. We didn't even score during the second half. So our defense just like our DBs just like working on the trick plays and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, to go off of that too. I mean, it wasn't like any of us had really touched the field when it comes to offense or defense when they ran back that kick. So, I mean, the minute and 30 seconds that we were out there it was less of like a like, oh crap, like this is who they are, more of like we came out flat-footed because it is a Saturday game at 2 o'clock instead of at night like we're used to. So you got that whole thing. It's still bright out, all that. We're at Goffstown, grass field. So there was a lot of different elements to it that I think led to us coming out pretty flat-footed on that opening play. But I mean, going back on the film, as soon as that opening play was over and we got the ball back, I mean, Matt went off, right? He had what was it, Matt? Like 3 touchdowns and 5 carries or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just a wake up call that we got to dial it in. And then after that, it was all gas, no brakes.
So Matt, you're kind of the anchor of the offense, and on defense, it's more Dante and you, Matt, again. But if you guys had to name a few other players in your team that step up and are big X factors, who would they be?
Honestly, I'd say our whole defense. Like I can't even just name a couple guys. I'd say our whole defense because everyone just like we work good together, and our chemistry is like all over the place. So I'd say our whole team.
Yeah, I mean, I've just from personal experience, I've been moving from Mike linebacker, staying inside, and all that. And I think just one thing that always stands out to me is going to be Rocco. I mean, playing nose, head up, you don't really know where he's going. He's in on pretty much every play. He's been a huge problem for the other team's offensive lines and everything like that, as well as Baker coming off the edge. He has a ton of sacks this year. He's just although he is playing line, I'd say he's one of the more athletic kids on the team. So just having him coming off the edge is just a force to be reckoned with.
Now, Matt, obviously you're the quarterback of the team, so you're down 6 points. I'm gonna give you a quick scenario. You're down 6 points and you're throwing the ball from the 30-yard line. You need someone to go up and get it. Who are you trusting to go up and get it the most?
I would trust Ronan, Balestri, and then Cody Samansky. There's guys, and they'll like jump up and get the ball, and like they'll make sure that it's not intercepted. So
Now, Dante, I'll give you a quick scenario. On the defensive side of the ball, you guys are up 3. They're going for a touchdown for the win. Who do you want on their best receiver on the outside to go up and make sure they don't come down with it?
I mean, my boy Matty J doesn't get much better than that. Him coming over the top, safety, just the help that he's been given all year to everybody. It's a really big factor that we have, because not only you got the corner, which we got some legit corners too, Ronan, Cody, Chase Amaral, we got all of our corners, but just having Matt coming over the top, making plays is what's really been going well for us this year.
Looking at Londonderry one more time, if you guys had to name a few players on their team on who you're going to try and shut down the most and who's their best players, like you guys will be keying off of, who are they?
I'd say their QB and the receivers. And honestly, like their whole like backfield is really fast. So we just got to focus in on their backfield, and they're a passing and running team, so they could do both. So we just can't key on one thing, and we just need to take care of business.
Yeah, and coming from a more of a linebacker's perspective versus where Matt's coming from the DB perspective. I mean, just looking at their O line, they may not have as much size as us, but those guys can really move. I mean, just watching film on their outside zone plays and everything like that, they're reaching really well, they're moving. So it'll be good to see some big boys move in the front and see how we can react to that on defense, because so far we've been playing slower paced teams. So it'll be a good adjustment for us.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you from Bishop Curtains, Dante, and Matt. I look forward to talking to you guys again, and good luck this week.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. With my next guest here, we have Jake Fredericks of Winnacunnet. Jake, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how your season's going so far?
So I'm a defensive tackle and offensive tackle. Mostly play the 3 technique on defense. 6'2", 275. Just love playing football. So overall season, it's been a little bit of a struggle so far as a team, but getting better each week, and hopefully, greater things have happened. Hopefully we can sneak into the playoffs and make some noise when we get there.
I was just about to say that 13 teams make it this year. I can see you guys maybe sneaking in if you guys can win out. You guys do end with a tough schedule with Pinkerton, Manchester Memorial, Londonderry, and Spalding. But looking at you guys' scores, it seems to be more of an offensive struggle than a defensive struggle. You guys held a very good Exeter team to 3 points, a Timberlane team to 28, a Portsmouth Oyster River to 25, and Dover to 14. So it's been a good defensive side of the year so far. Is it more your offense, or is it just you guys just can't seem to move the ball?
Yeah, it's for sure our offense. We've had a couple struggles. Like we start driving down the field, and once we get to the 50, we really just stop going. Just sometimes dumb penalty, sometimes losing the ball, which isn't great, and sometimes miss our blocks. So definitely just got to pick up the little things, and hopefully we can get our offense going for sure. Yeah, against BG, our offense second half was really good. We ended up outscoring them. So hopefully we use that as some momentum and get our offense rolling into the next 4 weeks.
Looking ahead this week, you guys have Pinkerton. Obviously, you've watched film on them. They have 2 really good running backs. How do you guys plan on stopping them this week?
So overall, we've been really good with running up the middle, just like Exeter wing T, just like Pinkerton runs. So we're really worried about the outside run with number 2. He's very fast, and if he gets into open field, he's pretty good and shifty. So, but I think if we just stop their game plan and run up the middle, and then our edge does a good job forcing it back in, I think we can really succeed against them.
Now, looking ahead again, you guys have Manchester Memorial after this week, Londonderry and Spalding. What game are you looking forward to the most out of the 4 remaining games?
Probably the Londonderry one, just because from last year, the championship game, we ended up coming up short. It's a great game. Still a little sad that we ended up falling short, but been looking forward to playing Londonderry again ever since I found out the schedule of this year.
Are you looking to play college football next year?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any offers yet or not yet?
Yes, I do have a couple offers right now.
From where, if you don't mind sharing?
If you don't mind, keep that on the down low.
That's fine. I understand. Looking back to your past 5 games so far, what game was the most exciting game to play?
Ooh, the Exeter game. Exeter when it comes, it's probably the best rivalry in New Hampshire for sure. And 3-0 game, you really can't beat that, especially when you really like defense. So, but that game was very back and forth all the way to the end, and they end up kicking a field goal with 2.5 minutes left in the game. So that game was really fun to play in, and unfortunately we did fall short, but it was a great stepping stone as a team because we really, after that game, we really said that we can compete with other teams and we're better than other people think.
Now, looking at that game one more time, they kicked a field goal with what, like a minute and a half left in the game?
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. They ended up kicking field goal on it was 4th and 10. One of our players jumped off sides, 4th and 5, and he kicked it in, 2.5 minutes left.
Do you know from what yard line he kicked it from?
I think it was probably like the 17-yard line on the right hash. So their kicker's really good too, and so we almost did block it, which is awesome. But yeah,
So it's about a 30-yard field goal with the wind up at Winnicott. That's a
Yeah.
tough make. That's
It
gonna be a
was.
tough make.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, good luck the rest of the way, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
That wraps up episode 3 of the 603 Football Podcast. Make sure you guys check out episodes 1 and 2 and follow the Instagram and the Twitter.